Hi everyone, it's Diane back again. Welcome, welcome. And I just realized I didn't put my phone on mute, and we all know that as soon as I start this, I'm sure my husband's gonna call or somebody because that's what we do. How y'all doing? Happy 4th of July weekend. Yes. Well, this was Friday for me, so I might just go ahead and put this video up when I finish it so that if you have some free time over the weekend and you want to craft, maybe you have a new idea. If you remember, we are doing our Stamping A to Z project in 2023 where I'm trying to use all of my stamp sets that I have, which is, I thought was kind of funny. Like, it's never going to happen. But when I look on my shelf, I see I have a nice stack. When I'm done with my stamp sets, which are usually stacked on my bookshelf like a book, when we've done a video, I always turn them down sideways so that I know I did that one. And I have quite a bit of them turned sideways, so we've done a few. Yay! There's a ton more to go, though. So I was watching one of my favorite creators, Jo Rice. She demonstrates Lavinia stamps, and I was inspired by her to do some ink blending, which you know is one of my favorite things anyways. I love my blending brushes. And so I had this old stamp. This was Inka Dinka Doo from 2012. Oh, I forgot Ella's in here. We're in trouble. And so get down off of Mama's journal. Get down. Oi, oi, oi. If you hit the cord, everybody's going to go bye-bye. Yep, not just Ella May. Not just Ellie Mae. Say, hello, goodbye. Time for Ella to go in the hall. I forgot you. Where'd you put your little Easter egg toy? Where'd you put your little eggie? Go play. Go play. Sorry about that. If I didn't risk losing my camera or having inky paw prints all over everything, I'd let her stay, but she's not that well behaved of a cat. She's a cat. Anyway, so I found this Inka Dinka Doo stamp of the stopwatch that I really like, so I was practicing with that. And then because now we got Ella hair everywhere. Yep. What was I going to? Oh, and then I realized that we're using our very Versailles, and I thought this will be great for that. So I did kind of a prototype. This isn't exactly how it's going to turn out, but this is somewhat what I want to do. I realized that my scripty stamp in there, the sticker is on there a little crooked, so my font on here is crooked. So if I'm going to do that, I need to tilt it a little bit. And I think that when we go to do the viney leaves, I will make them a little bit more of a diagonal. And then I did stamp off this little frame. And I might do that full strength. I'm not sure yet. I don't know. But there were a couple things. So, you know, it did come in handy that I did a prototype. So I hope you're all doing well. Remember, careful with those fireworks. Those little critters around here don't like fireworks. So if you have pets outside, make sure that you have them protected this weekend because people are crazy, man. They're crazy. I did take a piece of heavy white cardstock and added some painter's tape around it. I haven't pushed it too hard because I already had it tear on the other ones. I cut my cardstock a little larger than I normally would use on the top of my card, but that's because when I take this tape off, if it tears my paper, I'll just trim it shorter. And believe it or not, I started with some Saffron yellow ink and my blending brush, concentrating the heaviest part of my ink in lower left corner, and then I just worked my way around lightly on my card top. I wanted my color rather heavy down here. I guess I can, the last one when I was doing it, my tape was lifting, but that was because I had reused my tape. So I have new tape now, so now I'm worried that it's going to stick when I go to take it off. Even though I did kind of try to untack it a little bit on my slacks, I don't know if it'll work. Anyways, this yellow is just going to take away some of that white, I think, and it blends in kind of pretty with the two inks I'm actually using here. I'm going to use some Merlot from Stampin' Up to add my blending. Oh, some of these are so tough. And I just have this on a piece of packing paper so that I can mess around with my brushes and it doesn't matter where it goes. And again, I want to concentrate my ink more towards the bottom and the left, and I can do a little bit of light around here, not too much. I don't want a whole lot of the wine color going up the side. But I do want it to blend. I don't want a starting and stopping point. And remember, it's probably darker than what you think it is. So, you can always add more later, but you can't take it away once it's on there. And I think I'll just blend that back through with my yellow a little bit more. Make sure I clean that off because now I've got that Merlot on there. Come here, my So Saffron. Let's add a little bit more down in that corner. Blend that red out just a bit more. Right in here. That's better. Better. Now, oh, that's nice. I just got my bone folder is now a Mary Merlot bone folder. It is an intense color, and actually I think that's a new ink pen, so try to get some of that off of there. So then I took and I did spritz some water, hopefully not on my camera. This is just cardstock, it's not watercolor paper, so I didn't want it to get too wet and start to make a mess. But I'll hold this up here in a minute and show you. I really like the little speckles that it does. Can you see the little water droplets that it creates? I like that effect that we get from adding a little bit of water spritz. Now this is damp, so if I add any ink to it, I'm going to probably make a smeary old mess. So I will mute you for a minute here while I dry this on a very low setting from my heat gun. Okay, I didn't have it too sopping wet, so really it didn't take very long to dry. I'm going to add my my stamp pad under here now, just so I can get a better impression when I start to stamp. And I started with my scripty font, or my scripty font stamp. And this is the one that I said is a little crooked. So, scrap paper, here you go. Ooh, it has some sticky on there. So we had our ladies here yesterday to do their card workshop. And for my vines and my script, I used FineClair Chianti ink, just for something fun. This is a very intense ink, and so I am going to stamp off a couple of times on my scrap paper before I add this to my card front. And try to figure out which way I have to slightly up on the top. Okay. Yeah, so they got to make their cards yesterday, and I think everybody was very excited with their doggy card. Trying to decide if I want a little bit more ink to put up there now. That should do. So we used Tim Holtz Crazy Dogs yesterday, and they made a congratulations card using whatever doggy they felt like using. What else did we do? We did a happy birthday card, just a cute little fun fold card. And what was the third? Oh, the third one was a wedding card. That the actual card is this little piece on the inside, and you open it up and you can have your message on that, and it slips back into the little frame. So those were our cards that we did yesterday at our workshop. And our next one is at the end of July, I believe the 27th. If you're local and you're interested, just shout out and I'll make sure to add you to the list. We just sit around, have a coffee, make a few cards, chit chat, visit. Nice ladies, very nice. Okay, let's take that scripty one off and add our vine to that big block. Add some ink. And I think I'll stamp off and then add our vine. Ink will go here. Give it a nice press because I do have tape around the outside. And then maybe one more. So this is actually second and third generation stamping on there. I think that's probably going to work better. I think just the first generation was a little bit too dark because Chianti is a very, very deep color. It goes well with the Mary Merlot, though. They're very close, very similar. Okay. Then I took from the stamp set there, whoop, not that one. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. I was going to say, don't tell me I've lost something again. There's this little filigree frame type stamp, and instead of using black, I chose to use Morning Mist, which is also another Versailles ink. This is not black, but a very deep gray. I did stamp off one time on my practice one. And again, I am going to give it a nice press because I'm stamping off the edge of the card onto that tape. And I don't really want to have too much of a gap where the tape is separated from the card. Okay, I'm good with that. Yes, 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 that worked good. And then I chose from this stamp set, Always Thinking of You. I guess I could have shown you everything that's in the Very Versailles. Has this pretty little border. Thank you, always thinking of you, and have a beautiful day. Plus, most of the stamps that we are currently using. These are older sets, remember. You know, this, oh, sorry, did I hit you in the head there? Remember, the name of the game here is using the stuff that we have in our stash without running out and buying new all the time. Although we do have the Stamp Scrap Art Tour coming up in Pittsburgh here pretty soon this month. And actually, my one friend that was at Stamp Club yesterday, or Stamp Class, whatever, she called and asked me about it. She said, hey, isn't that coming up pretty soon? So I had to check the dates, and sure enough, there it's going to be. Not that I need anything. And now I don't know if I'm going to go. Anyway, my sister and my niece invited me to go with them in September on a little long weekend trip. And I'm doing that in the Morning Mist as well. Hey, that came out pretty. I'm happy with this. I told you the Very Versailles stamp set is, it is one that I've used plenty of times. This isn't one that I can be embarrassed about and say, oh, I never used that stamp set. Yeah, so anyways, I love going places with my sister. I really do. And we haven't been anywhere for quite a while, so I was very excited when she texted me yesterday and told me they were going and asked if I was interested. So now I got to be careful. No more stamp sets for a little while because I need some travel cash. All right, so let's take this off carefully. If it starts to tear, I'll heat it a little bit. That's looking promising. Fingers crossed. And all this is going to do is give us a nice white frame around our ink blending. Yay! One. I was pretty sad when my other one ripped. I mean, it was just practice, but I didn't want it to rip. I don't care about my packing paper underneath. It can tear up all it wants to. The only bad thing about doing a frame like this, and see, it did tear right there a little bit, darn it. So let's try from this side. Is now that it's got a border on it, you really do have to be careful to try to stamp straight, because unlike our other cards, when we stamp crooked, it's possible to go in there and trim your paper and straighten your images back up. With this, now I've made a straight border around it, so if I try to straighten it up, it's not really going to look good. One more. Hold your breath. Ready to keep your fingers crossed. I really do. And see, when I go, if I go to Pittsburgh to the stamp for. Yay! It's stuff like that that I need to look for. Low tack tape. I need some more art glitter glue. Things like that. I don't need more stamp sets. All right. So now I can trim this down to my, actually I think I'm just going to go and I'm going to take a 1/4 inch off of each side, I think. Is that what I want to do? Or maybe just an 1/8. Let's start with an 1/8. I don't want to have my mat be too big around here, or showing too much, I guess I should say. I'm going to layer this up on a basic gray mat and add it to a Mary Merlot card base. I laid them out a couple times and tried to see which way would look better, and I think I like the gray mat on the wine color card. All right. So this is Mary Merlot. And this is basic gray. Do I need to cut this down a little more? I probably can. Yeah, because it's not showing very much at all. Oh, another 1/8 of an inch all the way. Just a little off the top. But you go to those conventions or those, art tours and stuff, and everybody's got their new products there. And one of the things that I actually have sitting on my work table right now is a die that I got there the last time I went from the Ton, and it's a background die. And I can't remember what I have it out for. I want to do a card using that, and I can't remember why. What do I have under it? I got this, and I did do a couple cards with this. It makes a really pretty background. And they also had some beautiful floral stamp sets that, oh, that's probably better. Okay. And I thought, always thinking of you, that would be nice for a sympathy card, or, just a hello, or hope you're doing better, hope you're feeling better, whatever. Always thinking of you is pretty basic. You can use that for a lot of different greetings. So, it's a good set. I just like all of the scripty and the little is filigree the right word? Am I saying the right word? No dimensionals. Just going to layer this flat onto my card base. I don't really feel that it needs any. And there we are. Just some ink blending and some second generation stamping, a little spritz of water. Kind of cool, right? I like it. I do. And that is with, where did it go? How did I lose the stamp set? Oh, there it is. It's under my stamp pad, that's why. Very Versailles. Woohoo! And not long. Look at that. I did this one good. This is good timing. Okay, the next one. Oh, this is a different one. This is this is one of two. What? So next up is Better Together. This is a 2 set wooden blocks. I like wooden block ones. Yeah. Oh, I always like that happy birthday font. That's cool. Yep. Maybe I'll do a baby card. I don't know. We don't have a whole lot of images in this one coming up, so we'll have to get a little creative there. So until next time, when we will be better together, have a lovely holiday weekend. Stay safe and enjoy some time if you have some nice weather. And send somebody a card and make them smile with some happy mail. Bye, everyone. Love you.